Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm so glad to be here, not just here, although I'm very glad to be here, but this is my first burn. And the last, every single time in the last few days that I have said this is perfect, within a few minutes it goes up a notch. It just keeps going up. So I love you all. I love the ones of you that I don't know, because everyone I've met here that I don't know I've fallen in love with. I want to thank our hosts. I think TEDx is such a great thing, and to bring it here is amazing. So this didn't happen on its own, so I really do want to thank you. Thank you. A phrase just popped into my mind. As a couple of phrases as I was watching the art performance and thinking about Burning Man. One is that magic is real. I think when I'm here, I feel that. That's a really powerful idea. Second, art is life. Everything that we are doing is creating. And that's what artists do. They have a blank canvas. The supplies are out there, the ideas are in here, and they just put it all together. And all you have to do is decide that you're an artist and you're going to live that way. And then everything you do is art. And everything that happens here can happen out there. It's not my talk, but that's what I feel. So I'm going to use note cards. Sort of Burning Man colored note cards. Because normally I would look at the PowerPoint, but I can barely see it and I'm up on stage. So more change is going to happen to humanity in the next 25 years than has happened in the previous 5,000. Think about that. You heard a little about what a phase change is. I think that what we're undergoing right now is not an industrial revolution. It's not a scientific revolution. It's not a cultural revolution. It's something bigger than that. It's a phase change. We're entering an era when you are about to be able to make anything out of anything at any time. And probably, barring accidents, all of you here have a really good chance of being immortal with what is happening in science. You will probably not die. Think about that. These are the best of times in the world and the worst of times. These are the days of miracle and wonder and big ideas and big challenges. Nothing, and I really mean nothing, will ever be the same again. Think about that. That's your time. So who am I? I'm the founder of the World Technology Network. I started that almost 15 years ago. We have 1,000 members in 60 countries who are elected through the World Technology Awards program that we do with Time Magazine and Fortune Magazine and CNN and others. And they're peer nominated and peer elected. The members vote on the new members. And the criteria is doing the work of the greatest likely long-term significance. That's a powerful standard. And so these are the best of the best of the best. These are the people creating the 21st century in 20 different categories, not just science and technology, but fields that I think are part of the ecosystem: arts, design, ethics, social entrepreneurship, education, environment, policy. So we have this group of over 1,000 people in a virtuous cycle elected every year, adding to the group, who are my members, and I get to talk to them all the time. The guilty part is it's the best job in the 21st century. The hard part is I have to keep up with them and learn a lot about what each of them do. But the privilege is the fact that I actually get to see all the different things all at once in one mind and make connections. So our mission, our motto is encouraging serendipity, which people who are at Burning Man understand what that word means. You're sitting in a serendipity engine right now. So phase change. Phase change is that huge change from one state to another made up of the same thing. So I think there are three main elements to the phase change right now that I want to talk about. One is the redefinition of the human body. The second is the manipulation of matter. And the third is the creation of a new civilization. Let's talk about body first. The slides are all over the place. Two assumptions about the body that we've had. One, that you're stuck with the body you're born with, and two, that you will die. Those are big, big assumptions. Humanity, our spirituality, our religions, our politics, our family dynamics, work is all built around the fact that you are you and you will die. That is changing right now. We have begun to, with our study of DNA, to hack the body. Think about that. Think about what it was like in all previous human history. We will very soon be able to cure all cancers. We will be able to pretty much prevent aging. We will be able to choose what kind of body we want to have and then switch. So I've talked to people who want to know, can I ever become a mermaid? And you will have the chance to become a mermaid in the next 20 or 30 years. And maybe switch to something else. And maybe switch genders and sex and number of limbs you have, or number of the type of brain you'd like to have, the type of ideas you'd like to be able to access. We're also going to be able to, through the study of brain science, and I just went to a conference about immortality that was not a wacky conference. They had 800 of the world's top scientists working on different aspects of this. And one of the things that they're getting very close to doing is being able to download a mind. They're getting at the early stages. They can isolate a single memory right now. They can isolate in your brain where the letter A is. This is the first step to being able to download your mind, to save your mind, to make copies of your mind, to meld your mind with your lover in your lifetime, to know someone. Unprecedented. Think about that. The next thing I talked about was manipulation of matter. Here's some of the assumptions: that matter is largely unchangeable, and that the location of natural resources determine how and where growth occurs. Quantum physics, I'm going to move pretty quickly. Quantum physics, recent years we have begun to teleport molecules, truly. In the last year, they found test results that showed a parallel universe. They took a tuning fork on a piece of metal, and they found the results that the metal didn't move, and then they found the same results measured a different way that it did move. And they used quantum physics and measuring to understand this. This is your lifetime. Quantum computing is coming up. It's going to make current computing look like counting on your fingers. Networked matter, people are going to have tattooed circuits. And actually they say the best place to put them is on existing tattoos. And we're going to be merging man with machine. Nanotech, moving single molecules. We're going to get to nanoassembly. Again, making anything, anywhere, at any time. 3D printing you've heard about, hugely exciting. This year in China, they were printing out of living tissue ears, livers, and kidneys already. Let's talk about civilization. What are the assumptions? Evil and dehumanizing aspects of the world are always with us. And Homo sapiens is the only raw material of our civilization. We must tell the truth clearly, very, very, very clearly. This is the most important sentence to me in this whole talk. Our global civilization today is both utterly unsustainable and key phrase here, morally indefensible. We should no longer accept it. By accepting it, we're not being true to ourselves, and we're just going to feel like crap till it's better. I don't care how much wealth has been created the way it is for the few, and I don't want to throw away what has worked, but when poverty is at the state it's in, and the earth is at risk, and the amount of unhappiness that's all over the world exists, we just have to stop tinkering on the edges, moving around the deck chairs on the Titanic. We have to replace our civilization. Science and technology are starting to replace it, and people such as you are beginning to alter the shape and direction. Let me quickly run through some things that are already happening. Because the world is going to undergo the phase change, the question is, in what direction? Climate change, 50% of the world's people live in coastlines. And the tide's going to come in, and it's not going to go out. Post-humanism and transhumanism, moving beyond Homo sapiens, that's sort of what I was talking about as well. We're going to be able to choose and merge with machines. And we may even get machines become sentient, the singularity. Civilization may no longer just be made up of us. Think about that. Traditional capitalism. People aren't happy with it. It doesn't mean we could have done something different in recent years, as horrible as it's been. It means that we now can, and we have to. We're not creating new jobs for people. We're being very, very efficient, but people aren't going to have a thing to do. We're depleting all our resources, and we clearly need a new economics. And I won't go into details. Almost there. Traditional democracy, there's a total lack of engagement. We need to experiment. Either politics will start to serve people, or people are going to demand a new politics. That's coming. It's coming hard. And when you see people fighting back to prevent it, that is a sign of how scared they are of what we're going to do with their politics. Space. We're going to move into space. I was at a conference 2 weeks ago called the Starship Congress with many, many real scientists working with NASA and other governments, private citizens working on projects. The goal is to have an interstellar ship by the end of this century. And they're working on this stuff. It's real. I went curious, and I came back convinced. They're working on this stuff. They're working on warp drives, for God's sake. This is the time we live in. So changes are coming. They're coming at an ever-accelerating rate that will make the last 5,000 years seem like a hugely insufficient practice session. A hugely insufficient practice session for what is about to happen. Stop planning your lives for anything other than near constant change. Doing anything that isn't planning for near constant change is a near total delusion right now. It's all going to change all the time. You must participate if you care about human dignity and the earth. You must participate. Otherwise, I don't care what you feel when you're on the playa, you will be living a lie to yourself. If you care about human dignity and the earth, you're going to be living a lie. You have to participate the way you do here, out there. The choice is ours. We made the world the way that it is today. We made it this way, humanity, which is proof that we have that amount of power to improve things. This is a phase change. As I said, we have to first admit how wrong things are. Second, decouple from the past. And third, create a new vision. We have to hack the body, hack matter, and hack civilization. It's going to be different anyway, but we don't just want different this time. We want better.